Hello, friendo. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let me make this a little bit quieter. In order to host on your channel, Hokey, you have to go to your channel and type /host and the username of the person you want to host. Thanks, Hokey. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. So today we are going to play or work through a subscription box called Hunt a Killer. I'm super excited. You can't really see, but I'm finishing putting together a scene for this. So just a second. I want chat in the corner. Display capture? No. Yeah, mobile totally spoiled people. Browser source. Need to put alerts. Chat. Let me catch up on chat now. No, you've been fine. I've got boundaries and I'm going to keep them. So, Hunt a Killer is a subscription box in which you solve a mystery. Let me read you the Start Here pamphlet, at least the beginning of it. Congrats, you are now an official hunter. Now that you've received your first box, it's up to you to unravel the mystery. Here are some helpful hints. The mystery is episodic. That means there's no mystery ending solution in each box. And there's pictures. I think it changes depending. So I did open this last night. Oh, let me transition to the other full screen cam. make chat a little bit smaller. Or better yet, put it in the other corner. Make it a little bit bigger so you all can read it. Cool. So I'm gonna play through the first box. Obviously there's going to be spoilers is what's inside. I did open it last night to make sure that no. So let's just open some of the stuff that's in here. It comes with a cool notebook. I'm gonna start with this one. Where is its multiplayer? Well, it's multiplayers that I think I'm gonna work with stream to solve the mystery. Ooh. I may have to switch screens again. I just realized there's a website on one of these pages that I didn't see last night. So I'm going to start with reading the Listening Friends of America letter. Dear listening friend, thank you so much for becoming part of the family. I would like to apologize before we get too far along for my awkward letters. I'm not usually writing our volunteers, but my superiors have sent down that we are working on a new initiative to keep you a little more in the loop. You're fine, Hokey. I'm probably not going to interrupt myself if I see you've posted, typically. Oh, cool. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning of the paragraph. Thank you so much for becoming part of our family. I would like to apologize before we get too far along for my awkward letters. I'm not usually writing our volunteers, but my superiors have sent it down that we are working on a new initiative to keep you more in the loop than the usual crowd. To be honest, I don't write at all. First, I want to let you know about a new initiative passed in the Listening Friends family. It is very important to all of us that we ensure our safety, your safety and well-being. Pursuant to that, you can access my notes on all the items your friend sends you. To access the notes I have taken on your friend's package items, go to listeningfriendsofamerica.org and click on the Inspector Notes database. You can follow the easy two-step process on your screen. Your package ID is stamped on the envelope you received from our facility. Oh, so then, a little more about me. My name is Megan, but I prefer Meg. It's what my friends call me, and I think it fits better. I like to hike up the M and then hang out on the summit. I'm an inspector here at Listening Friends Bozeman. We are in an old building and we only have a handful of patients, so with our limited resources, we operate a little different than other facilities. Much of what we do involves maintaining the Listening Friends archive. What patients we do have here are a bit quirky, but I think they are a bunch of really nice people. I hope this works out. I hope you stay with us. It's always nice to grow the fam, especially if we all fit together. Enjoy getting to know your friend. I will be in touch next month. Thanks for listening. Meg Gibson, Inspector, Listening Friends of America. Interesting. Also in this package is a stopwatch. Or sorry, rather a pocket watch. That works, by the way. You can't see, probably. You still can't really see that it's working, but it does, trust me. There is also this picture of, I don't know how well this shows up, but there's this picture of our titled vault in there. So this is going to be a little bit harder to read because of the inspected stamp, but I believe this is the letter from Sylvia. Okie, don't run away. This is more fun with more people. I hope you're still here. Just kidding, you're not here, so I'm reading to myself. Cool. Dear Jasper, as always, I hope you're doing well. I'll be positive and assume the best, since you have no way to tell me otherwise. Do you remember my last letter? When something was invited to that artisan expo in Helena? Well, it turns out, sorry, there's the mention of bows and Helena. Well, it turns out that one of the committee members has a grudge against my old instructor, so he found some arbitrary reason to cut down my demonstration time from 2 hours to 30 minutes. Can you believe that? What am I expected to make in just 30 minutes? A molten blob? I would look like a complete joke. So I sent them a very apologetic cancellation email that night, the night before the expo. I'm sure they had no trouble finding another apprentice trained in medieval glass blowing. Well, anyway, on to better news. After all these years, I finally got around to expanding the back workshop. I know I always hated how dusty and cramped it was, although you never seemed to mind. It was like your little safe haven, wasn't it? Well, I had to make room for new equipment and more workstations. Recently hired some assistants to help me with a rather ambitious project. They're pretty capable, but none of them have your natural talent, unfortunately. I'm sure I'll never find anyone as meticulous as you. I guess all these changes at Carte du Monde have me feeling sentimental. I can't stop thinking about the past lately. Back then I tried my hardest to get you to open up to me. I didn't want to pry, so I eventually let it be. But now I feel like I should have tried harder. Maybe I could have helped you. That's what friends do for each other. Do you still consider me a friend, Jasper? I know I say this every time, but I wish there was some way for you to contact me. Everything feels so one-sided. But every story has two sides, doesn't it? Someday I hope to hear yours. You don't have to hide anything from me anymore. There's nothing you could tell me that would make me change my opinion of you. You know that, right? Take care, Sylvia. P.S. For gold rings, I start with aquamarine first, and then move forward from there. From silver rooms, I start with zirconium first and move back. Interesting. There's one more letter from that first package. I don't like this notebook. Hello, new friend. They tell me you are going to listen to my story. How exciting. I have always admired the typewriters in the writing room that they call the study. And now, I finally have an excuse to use one. I think it is simply incredible. Oh. Well, I had to make do with the one that was with what was available. The pickings were slim, and most of these do not work. This was the best I could find, and still, 2 keys are broken. I think it is simply incredible that all these levers and gears work together to produce thoughts and ideas recorded permanently on paper. Although I suppose a thought is always as permanent as the paper it's printed, or suppose a thought is only as permanent as the paper it's printed on. Or perhaps a thought is always a beginning, its purpose to evolve when the paper changes hands. Speaking of beginnings, if you are not going to know my story, then I suppose you should hear the beginning, should you not? I was born to a lovely set of parents who abandoned me when I was 3. My first foster parents, tortured each other with their mediocrity. My second family was full of delusional idealists, stuck in a generic mode of family sitcoms. When I turned 16, I was able to get a job. The J must be one of the broken keys, because I've noticed 2 places where that's the case. My second family was full of delusional idealists stuck in the generic mode of family sitcoms. When I turned 16, I was able to get a job with a pawnbroker down the road, Manny. He taught me quite a lot, and I will be grateful forever for awakening those essential pieces of me. After Manny retired a couple of years later, I took an appointment with a jeweler named Sylvia, and she introduced me to, it says horology. This is the final piece of my something, and it fit in place like a tightly wound hairspring. I give you a simple watch from my collection. One that I will hope... that's where the watch came from. Where did I put the watch? Interesting. So this came from my friend, Jasper. And the J is definitely missing. I've seen several instances that is the case. So that's cool. I really like this pocket watch. Now I am here, and you are somewhere out there reading this letter. It is sad that 2 people would share such a tactile such a tactile tether should stay so far away, so far removed from one another. But it is all a matter of perspective. The thaumatrope I have provided illustrate. The thaumatrope which I have included. Or provided illustrates this as well. Two ideas, seemingly opposite, that when viewed under certain conditions become one. There are no visitors here, but I do hear from Sylvia every now and again, perhaps 3 or 4 times a year. She keeps me up to date on the coming and goings outside these walls. She's important to me, therefore she will be important to you. I have included a copy of one of her letters, so you might become acquainted. I cannot write her back. There are certain protocols that must be followed. Even if I could, however, there are things that I cannot tell her, things that I believe she is somehow not ready to hear. But can you hear them? More accurately. Oh, to be more accurate, this is what you signed up for, and this is what I was told to comply. I will play along because things are going well at the moment, and I do not want to throw a wrench in the system, as it were. That is why, I can tell you between noon and halfway around that 2, 4:30, 3:15, 3:15. Interesting. Ever so cordial. Teeth. It says teeth. Teeth. And it's got gears on it. I'll have to do that at some point. Put this back in the envelope. Cool. I want to go to listening. Why can't I spell? I want to go to the website quick here. Listening Friends. LISTENINGFRIENDS of weird. Okay. Oh, this is so cool. I don't know if any of you are here, but we're going. Do not pay attention for a moment. We're not going to switch to that one. I don't want to use that either. K-Tan it is. So this is very interesting. I don't know if you can see me. Warning. Volunteering with Listening Friends of America may expose you to graphic contents and writing of a mature nature. LFOA takes every reasonable precaution to ensure your safety and privacy. Please be aware that volunteering with LFOA is your choice, and you may terminate your engagement at any time. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Not no. Oh, crap. Oh, it's the same password. Oh, cool. Interesting. Interesting. So very interesting. So, Bozeman, Montana, which is probably a clear thing. It's come up several times. I'm gonna keep everything that came in here back in here. But I want to read what she said. Hopefully you can read also. Anything in future streams that you don't see or want to see more of, I may do supplemental videos that I'll just shoot off stream. But this is incredible. This is so incredible. Oh my god. So Jasper Flowers. Interesting. I'm trying to figure out as to why he can't write Sylvia. So the one was the Listening Friends of America letter. A brief introduction, welcome, and other pleasantries. There's not much to talk about this. Okay, fair. Jasper, this is the letter that we read, seems to be missing keys from his typewriter. I'm sure he can figure out how to fix that. I sure hope so. So that was the next thing. Thermotrope. I had to research this. They used to be very popular with kids in the 19th century. Typically, you'd see a bird on one side and a cage on the other. Spitting them together would put the bird in the cage. I like the Jasper made one better because I prefer watching birds out of doors. So I need to put this together. At some point. Sounds like teeth or something. But that'll be interesting. Letter from outside friend, Sylvia. I do not see anything wrong with this letter. It passed the incoming articles inspection. It is interesting that Jasper gets to have letters that come from outside the listening program, but I guess it makes sense because he's always been on his best behavior. And Sylvia seems great. I love the border on her stationery, such detail. So that's interesting. Pocket watch. Oh, picture of a pole bolter. I love Thomas Aikens. This is a great example of his work. It's a small reproduction of the original, makes it seem so different. And then the pocket watch. This is another reason why Jasper is such a good friend. He's so generous to give someone he barely knows a watch from his personal collection. It projects meaning onto each of the things, especially his timepieces. So that is all from the Listening Friends file at this in particular folder. I have a patient file and a letter from Felix still. I just want to keep things organized as best as I can. just simply so we know what came from where, because it'll be useful to know. Gonna quick switch back to the other. Oh, I never transitioned, so you didn't see any of that. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna transition real quick and kind of just go through. This is the inspector inventory sheet. So it just gives you the descriptions of what I just read. Cool. We're gonna transition back now. Because I have one more folder. So. Hi, Basket! Sorry I was, ignoring you. I'm doing this one monitor. And I'm sorry you didn't really see me read any of that and kind of go through the items. We're doing Hunt a Killer. Ask me questions. We're kind of going through the first month's box. There's obviously going to be spoilers. Can't really help it. How have you been? So while Biscuit replies, we've got a letter from Felix. Listening friend. Welcome to the Listening Friends of America family. As the head of the table, so to speak, I have personally intervened in our standard procedures and assigned you to your new friend, myself. Looking at your background, you seem very capable of dealing with this particular situation that is of great personal concern. Mr. Flowers has done something unusual and beyond the parameters of his station. I just don't know what it is. I cannot tell you why I say this, at least not yet, but I believe very strongly that whatever he's done will greatly harm LFOA and our mission. You must find out what he has done so we can remedy the situation before it's too late. Mr. Flowers is located in our Bozeman facility, and there is a particularly sensitive situation there. You may need to look into the archives. I've provided a backdoor access point for you beneath the newsletters. You'll see it. We have also included in the enclosed file what information on Mr. Flowers we have that may be relevant. You have 6 months. If you are unsuccessful, after that we will deal with Mr. Flowers in some other way and hope for the best. Expect to hear from me again at a time to be determined. Good luck, Felix. Basket, what's new? Talk to me, buddy. You're not even here. I know it's getting close to the Weirdling stream, but I want to get through as much of this as possible. What I would like to do is inspect the website and see if I can find that backdoor a bit. Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Near the newsletter. I want to see what this is. I know this is Facebook. Huh. Don't know that this is the back door. But interesting. Supposedly there is a back door somewhere. These aren't. Oh, wait, what? Huh. I'm gonna go back to the back door thing. Maybe that is the back door. Huh. I don't want to dwell on this too long. Darton, honey! Sorry, I haven't been trying to ignore you. I really haven't. I'm on a mission. I'm playing Hunt a Killer. And we're almost through this first box. There probably will be a secondary stream this weekend where I dive into all the stuff and try to make connections as much as possible. So that when we get the second box in a month, or possibly several weeks, we've got that. You can't actually see me holding up the box because I'm still on the website page looking at chat. So cool. I'm gonna stop on the website for now. I want to read through the rest of the stuff that is in the patient file, because then we've gone through all of this. This is going to go up on my YouTube channel. What is it? So it's a mystery subscription box. They're in their third season, whatever that means. This is the first episode of their third season. It's so I'm sure you've heard of like Loot Crate. It's kind of that idea. It came with folders or envelopes rather of items. So we're on our last folder. You can check out the VOD. It'll be up for 2 weeks. Also, I'm gonna put it up on my YouTube channel, so. Interesting. Gruesome murder scene found at computer museum. Killer remains at large. Police urge community to be vigilant and cooperative. Local authorities are scratching their heads over a recent murder to shake the local community. A body was discovered by a night watch attendant at the American Computer and Robotics Museum. According to the police, the body was dismembered at every major joint and the chest cavity was excavated. Detectives are currently investigating and so have refused to publicly identify the victim. The sheriff's department has made assurances through press release that they are doing everything that can be done in a thing like this. The employee working the night watch has, according to police, asked for anonymity in the case. The museum has not yet responded to a request for comments at time of press. Authorities are asking anyone with information that may be of help to please call the sheriff's office. I'm more interested on what's in the back of this clipping. But so this is kind of interesting. The patient first impressions. He was Jasper Flowers. You blame Buttface. I think it was Zaff. I'm pretty sure Zaff knocked off a record on Mary's counter last night when we were playing Stardew Valley Co-op. So this is interesting. I have a sneaking suspicion that Jasper might be to blame. Facility. Cool. Oh my god! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Additional notes. Pleaded insanity at trial. Forensic evidence verified culpability. Does not empathize with others. Very dissociative. Jasper murdered the person found at the museum. Maybe there's another one that they're not aware of yet that we're gonna find out about? I wish this clipping had a date on it. So 6 months later, roughly, was a growth assessment. Subject exhibits tendency towards de-individuation, even, especially in small group settings. Maintains an abnormally inconsistent sense of self, ranging from undeveloped to debilitating self-conscious. Interesting. Oh my god. I think we're getting letters from a freaking psycho. Listening friends, interoffice memo to Warren Jones from Clark Love. New patient work assignment 5040, which we've seen is Jasper's patient number. It is my recommendation that 5040 stay out of the garden. I tried him out there as a joke, but he ruined the whole bed before I gathered him up. I don't think the guy has a sense of humor. Funny thing though, the lawnmower he used to cut down the landscaping was broken and collected dust in the junk shed. So he must have gone in there, found it, and fixed it. I thought that pretty go get 'em of him. So I asked if he could take a look at the old grandfather clock in the lobby. He did a bang win job on the clock repair. Maybe we can turn that into a job with a regular rotation. I think he'd enjoy that. If machines are his thing, I'll try him out in the basement to see if we can get him to give me a hand down there. Other than that, I think he'd be up for doing almost anything. He's got a hell of a work ethic. I think once he puts his mind to something, he won't stop until he sees it through. I want to check something. It's not live. Cool, I'll just keep going for a little bit. Darton, are you still there? Everybody seems to be dropping off the face of the planet. Darton, you're here! Tell me about your life. I haven't seen you in forever, Darton! This is very, very creepy. Oh, I should be reading this out loud. That's a thing. Are you back in Vancouver, or where are you at? Another inter-office memo. Warren Jones from Dr. Willa Cortez. Cobra 81, patient 5040, Jasper Flowers. Warren, per your request, we tested the subject at 5:45 this morning. Upon the start of the test, he was quiet and calm. He began by surveying the area from his chair before rising. Then, Montreal. Okay. So that means you have your streaming computer? Moved to each station and examined each one for roughly 30 minutes at a time. Once the entire room had been observed, the subject sat back down in his chair briefly before returning to the station and began to disassemble each module using a privileged chit to pry opening the casing. He studied the inner mechanisms of the module and removed the trigger spring from each, neutralizing them. I suppose that's one way to go about the test, but it's the first time I've seen it in 10 years. I recommend we continue with the program. Sweet, we should try, keep talking and no one explodes again. Yes. So there's something interesting going on in this psych hospital. I'm not exactly sure what it is yet. So 8176. We went, so this is through. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like, this is gonna be a very interesting test. So this is between Jones and Cortez again. This time it's Cobra 76, about Jasper, Flowers. Warren, we went back through to 76 with the subject and discovered that he struggled with completion of the test. The test was done correctly, single blind, with all the usual parameters in place. Subject could not discern which participant was hiding the gold token and which participants were not. Under these conditions, subject became increasingly hostile. At one point, he stood, knocked over his chair, and screamed in visible frustration. Then he picked up his chair and placed it where it had been before, sat down, and began singing a song. Looking back over the tape, I was able to make out the words. You went away and left me because you thought you could hurt me, but I got news for you. I don't believe he was threatening me or anyone else. He appeared to be using the music to soothe himself. We should continue to monitor, but I'm curious to see how continued Cobra runs will affect his behavior outside of the modules. Murray! Where is you? So interesting. I think we've gotten through everything. Oh no, we haven't. I don't know where this accent came from. I'm not really even sure where this accent belongs. This is a letter from Jasper Flowers to Warren Jones, the director of operations of LFOA in the Bozeman, Montana facility. Mr. Jones, I just wanted to thank you for taking me in and helping me with my situation. It must be a very demanding job that you have with so many moving parts to put together. I do not envy the pressure you must face on a daily basis. I'm very talented in several fields and can make your job easier if you only give the word. All of this is not to say that I believe that you are lacking in your duties or in any way falling short of your goals. Recently, you have collected a staff here that has made my stay very satisfactory. Yeah, I need to start doing that. I didn't for the first little bit. It's good practice, though. Darton, did you hear that I'm about to start GMing a game of Dungeons and Dragons? Because that's a thing. Officer Courtley, Jasper Flowers, resident 5040. I think there's something going on here that is a little beyond just, like psychiatric hospital. This Cobra testing is interesting to me. I can't wait for next month. Yeah, I'm honestly not a fan of them. Of their D&D stuff. I'm very into Critical Role. And stuff that one of the streamers I follow, Random Tuesday, yeah, that's one thing that I'm trying to push my players towards, is more of a backstory as to why their character is there, and then incorporating the backstory. But before I talk about Dungeons and Dragons anymore, this is where we're gonna stop with To Hunt a Killer tonight. I've got some stuff to mull over. I'm gonna look over it all again. I think there's something fishy going on in there with the Cobra testing. Can't really prove it yet. I don't have enough information. That's the cool thing. These boxes are all going to build upon each other. So that's cool. But we can definitely talk more about Dungeons and Dragons here. I just want to write a note. We'll just call it 53 minutes even. Because I'm gonna export this to YouTube. Anyway, back to Dungeons and Dragons. I'm certainly going to try to include backgrounds more of my players. I have some ideas as to how to do it. None of them are watching, so I can definitely divulge them. So, little history. We all started playing. I played one campaign, was going to show up, but was sick. And then after 5 sessions, over a couple of months, like 2 or 3 months, the GM was just like, yep, not gonna do this. I'm not gonna bother updating the title, but I'm gonna update that. And I stepped up, but what we played was a game called Weave, which is a really cool app-based tabletop RPG, which is very interesting, and I can definitely talk more about that in the future. And then we just wrapped up on Thursday that. So yeah, I can definitely tell you more about what I'm thinking my campaign's gonna be like. But let me ask you a question. Do you have Stardew Valley, Darton? Do you want to play co-op, Edo? Mary and I played co-op last night and it was a lot of fun. Other than starting all over again. Because we should try to do that while you're home and have your good computer. Well, no, not right now. I'm wrapping up shortly here. I was gonna stream until Mary got here, but I just was looking at it. That's true. We could definitely... Sunday I wanted to do a little more Hunt-A-Killer. But maybe I'll do that tomorrow night after work. Sunday... we can... Do you have time on Sunday? What works for you? Okay, so let's plan on Sunday. Like 10 o'clock Central Time? Okay, I was thinking about going to my parents. What time do you think you'll be home? That might be work. That might be too late. 10 p.m. what time zone? Nine would work. Really? Go away. Go away. Go away. Bye-bye. Hello, Johan. That was strange, but we're just gonna get rid of him. Which is 5. Can we do... I don't have a bottle of water. And we won't be doing that. Darton, let's plan on, like, 8 then? 8 Central Time, so an hour sooner. So 9 Eastern. Okay, let's plan on that. I will definitely either hit you up on Discord, probably, if something changes. I'm going to see my parents at some point this weekend. And I'm not sure when. That just gives me a little bit more time to game, because I also have plans to do stuff with my mom on Monday, on my day off. Dude, just stop. Oops, that wasn't what I meant to do. But that's fine. I'm just gonna ban him. That's cool. I don't deal with that. So I think I might call it a night. Unless you wanted to had something to chat about. You got anything in particular? Plus, I'm finding all the shitheads. Ah, well, it sounds like Mary's gonna be live shortly anyway. That she's getting her phone issues fixed. No. Check out the VOD, which will be live right after the stream. Otherwise, it's gonna end up on my YouTube channel under the same username. Unless someone has something to talk about, I think I'm calling it a night, because I haven't eaten dinner. And haven't really stopped going since 7:30 this morning. What is she doing today? It's, Open Source Friday. That's what she's doing. Something that I'll probably join her on soonish. Maybe. I'm going back to school in the fall for web development. Somewhere. I'm gonna make it work. No, I wouldn't do that. I don't have the skills yet to do it. But I will. Well, I think it's time for me to call it a night. Y'all have been great. I'm very excited to dive more into Catch a Killer. I've got some theories that I'm sure are going to be bunk as I look closer at the whole thing. Really, Darton? I was about to sign off, but really, Darton? That's cool. The latency is high right now. I didn't know that that was a thing you were thinking about, or was a thing that was a thing you could do. I thought programming was more of a hobby for you. don't know. I can't keep it all straight, Darton. I just found out that somebody I playtested an RPG with is in web development, another female, which was interesting. But it sounds like... Wait, what do cats have to do with software engineering? Other than you can work from home so you can cuddle cats while you work. Alright, I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for stopping by. Have a wonderful night, everyone. I think your sample size is too small. Anyway, good night. Good night.